What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the rise and fall of Warzone cheaters. When Warzone first started, majority of the player base, including streamers, were actually on console. A lot of these streamers decided to make the switch to PC, causing their fans and followers to do the same thing. This actually sparked a massive increase in sales when it came to Call of Duty Warzone cheats. A lot of people at the start didn't really understand that there were that many cheats available for the game, and as time went on, more cheat providers decided to surface. There were so many cheat providers coming out of the woodwork, offering the best cheats, offering undetectable cheats, offering private cheats. Now, of course, they can't be private if they are publicly available to buy, but a lot of people bought into these sale pitches from the cheat developers and cheat salesmen, because that's essentially what they are. They are just salesmen selling their product, which was cheats for Call of Duty Warzone. As it went on, through Verdansk, a lot of people were cheating to the point where people realised they were not getting banned. They could cheat for a year and not get banned, which caused more people to go down the path of, if you can't beat them, join them, which was so bad for the community. It was so bad for the online FPS world at the time, and it caused a lot of uproar in the scene. But due to channels like my own, along with many others, shining the light on how big the cheating problem was in Call of Duty Warzone, we forced the hand of some of these top level streamers, because let's face it, before we started pointing out how bad the cheating problem was, they never really spoke about it. Now, these guys were somehow able to still be dropping world record gameplays in Verdansk when it was rife with cheaters. Now, we are talking about the rise of the cheaters in Warzone at the moment, and this was something that honestly was fascinating to me. A multi-billion-dollar AAA gaming development company called Activision wasn't able to implement an anti-cheat into their game. Why on earth did they decide to put a free-to-play game out with no anti-cheat? Let's face it, the free-to-play game, they probably made more money off that than they ever did on ones which you had to buy. Okay, because of the in-game purchases, because of the blueprints, because of anything you purchase in that store, this game has generated so much money for the game devs. So why didn't they incorporate an anti-cheat? But that's a story for another day. We're talking about the cheaters now. Now, the cheat developers were able to start manipulating other in-game mechanics. It wasn't just aimbot and wall hacks. Eventually, we had flying cars, we had night vision goggles, we had 400 field of view, and we had third-person shooter mode. There were so many other things being incorporated into the game. At this point, you are just adding new features which will allow these game developers to actually detect your cheats. And that is risky from any point of view, but it would appear that the cheat developers at this moment in time felt untouchable due to the fact that their cheats were not getting detected, due to the fact that there was no anti-cheat in the game. Then, Verdansk was towards an end. Verdansk had finished. They were bringing out a new map, with the majority of the legitimate player base holding on to the slight hope that this new map was going to be built on a completely different engine, actually causing trouble for the cheat developers to actually get their cheats to work on said game. They would probably have to go out of their way, recode new cheats, and incorporate them into that game. However, that was not the case. Their cheats that once worked in Verdansk still worked in Caldera, but then along came Ricochet anti-cheat. Everybody was talking about the big anti-cheat, it's going to ruin all cheaters. Thank you, Activision, for this newfound love for your player base. No, that is not what happened at all. Ricochet anti-cheat was announced. The way it was announced was almost to give the cheat developers a heads up, and if that wasn't the case, it still did. These cheat developers were then able to go and do some digging, hacking into computers, possibly pulling source code, or just paying the person who's selling the source code to them. And this way they were able to get their hands on the kernel level driver for the Ricochet anti-cheat, which allowed certain cheat providers such as artificialaiming to bypass the Ricochet anti-cheat kernel driver in under an hour. And that's based off things posted in the artificialaiming forums, which stated that it had been bypassed, and this message was put out under an hour after the Ricochet anti-cheat kernel driver was put into the game. And it was announced that it was put into the game as well. Why not just slip it in there and get it over and done with? Either way, at this moment in time, through this storyline, we still feel like the cheat developers and the cheat providers are still going up and up and up. They're still making money, they're still profiteering, they are still doing what they can to beat the game developers. And at this point, you already had numerous new cheat developers coming out of the woodwork. As we already mentioned, you had the main ones, the most publicly available ones, the ones that everybody knows about, such as engineowning, such as artificialaiming, such as battlelog.co. Now, they're the three main cheat providers for Call of Duty Warzone. Well, at least they were. Until people realised that using the small providers is probably more beneficial, the customer service you probably receive from them is better, and the fact that they're probably not on Activision's radar, right? Then you had the likes of Golden Gun, Cobalt, Phantom Overlay, and many others coming out of the woodwork talking about how they were the best. Phantom Overlay claiming that they were in fact undetected and never have been detected, and that they were privately built cheats, and now they've decided to go public. But that whole introduction on their website clearly says to me that it's full of shit. They are claiming that they are the cheat provider that all your favourite streamers use. That is not the case, and if it was the case, as we've stated in a previous video, them streamers would not use their service if they were going to announce it on the homepage of their cheats. It's simple as that. But there was then some back and forths between Phantom Overlay and other cheat providers, but with about 20 or more cheat developers now claiming to be the best cheats for Warzone, the most undetectable cheats, the safest cheats, it's now sparked the downfall of cheaters in Warzone. The cheaters have had numerous issues because of Ricochet anti-cheat or Team Ricochet detecting certain things such as silent aim, detecting things like unlocker tools, detecting things like flying vehicles. All of these new added features that were incorporated into the cheat development side have actually caused more problems for them than it's worth. Yes, an unlocker tool makes you look cool with all your weapons unlocked, all the blueprints out of the store you never had to pay for. But did you not think for a second that this was going to cause a multi-billion-dollar company to think, hang on, we're not going to let them have that for free? And that is probably what sparked the downfall of this. But that is only one very minute part of the downfall. What you've got now is all of these cheat providers going head to head. Multiple cheat providers calling out other cheat providers for being rats. Multiple cheat providers claiming that they are better than other cheat providers. It looks like we are about to see the start of a cheat development war. You have got multiple cheat providers claiming that Cobalt cheats are in fact a rat, claiming that there is an infected client executable file within their download, causing their users problems. Now, how else would you actually stop somebody from using a competitor's cheat and to come and use yours? Start a rumour, claim that their files are tainted, that it's going to ruin your PC, etc, etc. Because Cobalt have been accused of being a rat, but they are now claiming that it is not them, and that the file that is in question has not been put there by their own development team, and that it has somehow been incorporated due to another cheat provider. If that's the case, why on earth has another cheat provider had access to the files on their system when they are sending the download to their users? Why on earth has another cheat provider been able to access them? Unless it's a copy and paste cheat, which a lot of them seem to be doing. Copy and paste the program, copy and paste the code, and then just put a new overlay on it, recolor it, new logo, job done. But essentially in the background running is the same program. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe they've copied and pasted something and it's caused them to actually have this file in there. But this is the downfall of the cheat developers and the cheat providers for Call of Duty Warzone. They are going head to head, they are attacking each other, and this is something that has been seen through many different aspects of life in the past, and it causes war. And out of all of this, the only people who will really win are the legitimate players who play Call of Duty Warzone still. So why might I say this is the downfall for the cheaters in Call of Duty Warzone? Well, it's very simple really. If these cheat developers are going head to head and causing each other problems and putting infected executable files within others' downloads, then it is not safe for the cheat users, which means that the majority of people using said cheats will probably see this stuff going on and step away. Now, they're not going to trust it from either side. If one cheat provider has been able to put a file within somebody else's cheats when they get downloaded by their user, why would you trust any of them anymore? There is no trust there. Was there anyway? I'm not sure. The fact is there is multiple things going on, and some of these cheat providers have also been seen to have crypto scams running in the background on your PC. So whilst you are running cheats on Call of Duty Warzone, your cheat provider is currently mining cryptocurrency on your PC, and you're not getting anything from it, and you're paying them for it to happen. These are things that are occurring with the cheating side of things. You are dealing with people who like to cut corners in life. You are dealing with people who want you to cut corners in the game. So why wouldn't they do other things to cut corners? Now, many people will sit here and tell me that I shouldn't really be giving warnings to people who want to cheat. And this is what I've got to say to you. These guys who want to cheat, if they see this, will deter them from doing so, hopefully. Why would you go and put yourself in a position where your PC, that you've probably spent a couple of $100s or pounds for or more, why would you put that at risk of being attacked? Especially if you use it for personal things. If these people are able to incorporate intrusive files into your downloads, then they could quite well be watching everything you do through your webcam. They could quite well be watching everything you do online. If you download the wrong file or select the wrong link, these guys have instantly got access to everything you're seeing. Why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you put yourself at risk? Let's move forward to a clean online gaming experience in Call of Duty Warzone, and let's take that newfound legit approach forward into Call of Duty Warzone 2. It's great to see that the cheat developers are somewhat attacking each other, pointing the finger at each other, whether it be true or not. It's good to see them casting doubt on each other. This will cause so many people to back away from it, guys, and that is good for the online experience of the legit players. So this message is being put out to anyone who was thinking of cheating. Don't, because you're putting yourself and your PC at risk. The idea has always been to make a clean gaming experience. If that means telling someone who's going to cheat that the cheats may be tainted, then that's what we've got to do. If you did enjoy today's video, guys, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, hit that blue join button today and become a member of the Triple B fam. And guys, if you're feeling generous, you can hit that super thanks in the bottom right. Thank you. And don't forget, go and follow me on Twitter at badboybeaman. It's the best place for you guys to stay in touch and up to date. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!